light on their feet, but don't let them fool you. Up next, it's the bantamweight category, and they certainly can pack a punch over here. From the blue corner, the visiting side, he was a bronze medalist at the 2007 Xinjiang International Tournament, a bronze medalist at the 2006 King's Cup, representing the Bangkok Elephants. It is Satjapron Jumroesan.
This here's the story of Cassius Clay, who changed his name to Muhammad Ali. He knows how to talk and he knows how to fight, and all the contenders were beat out of sight. Sing Muhammad, Muhammad Ali. He floats like a butterfly and stings like a bee. Muhammad, the black Superman who calls to the other guy.
And a fighter from the red corner promises to be a blast. A silver medalist at the 2011 National Championships, representing the Venky's Mumbai Fighters. Please put your hands together for Mirbek Bantam Bomb Sherov.
जो परवाज़ें रोके हर ऐसी बंदिश के मुंह पे डिशू, जो सपनों की सांस दबोचे ऐसी हर कोशिश के मुंह पे डिशू, दुश्मन की चौखट पे जाके।
Well, that's how the individual rankings stack up in the bantamweight. It's Jumroesan of the Astana Aslan, Baku Fires, beg your pardon, followed by Milano Thunder's Vitaly Volkov. That's the man to watch out for, but Abdul Hamidov is the man who's chasing him. But we've got a debutant here, Mirbek Shirov of Kyrgyzstan, representing Venky's Mumbai Fighters, and Satjapron Jumroesan of Thailand. And that's the judges, Martin Tadic, Rennie Just, and Michael William Gallagher. While the man in the ring is from Denmark, Klaus Peterman, the man who will be conducting this bout in the ring.
And so as we get ready for our third bout of the evening, this place is absolutely packed. What an atmosphere it is, and everybody loving this.
Well, we've got the boxer from Kyrgyzstan, Mirbek Sherov, making his World Series of Boxing debut, and making his commentary debut with us is Venky's Mumbai Fighters principal Udit Chet. Udit, welcome to the commentary box. Well, Udit, it's been a rather roller coaster ride for you. And Udit, how's been the experience for you in this debut season for Mumbai Fighters?
Oh, this is fantastic. I mean, we didn't expect the response that we've gotten. And the boxers are doing well. They're actually going 5 rounds. They're becoming fitter, and they're fighting at their best across India.
Now, let me ask you a question. Something like this, we keep talking in India about benefiting sport at the grassroots level. That's something that's close to your heart. How does this work as far as your objectives go?
Oh, this is very close to what we're doing. We're actually trying to, I would say, create the entire boxing ecosystem. We want to work very closely with the federation. We've set up an academy, a training camp. We have open tryouts for our team. We give everybody a chance. We're creating fitness modules with this. So we're doing a lot where then once the boxers qualify and they come here, it's up to them. But we're putting everything in place: nutrition, living, coaching, everything.
Okay, that's excellent. Okay, we are in the first round. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll come back and have a bit of a chat with you. But let's find out what's going on out there in the center of the ring. Here, it's the Venky's Mumbai fighter with a bit of a height advantage. 171 centimeters as against 164 centimeters for the Bangkok Elephants. And to remind our viewers that the last bout, in fact, was extremely close, Ravi. It was as close as we thought it would be. 146 points to 139 is how the totals finally ended.
Well, if you look at the individual judges' cards, it's 49-46, 48-47 and 49-46. So the judges were indeed scoring it very closely. But at the end of the day, I think Udit would be happy that he's got a 2-0 lead in his pocket.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's fantastic. Boxers are fighting well. Even here in the bantamweight, we can see the new guy who's come in, Mirbek. He's got a nice height advantage.
Don't hold, don't hold.
Very aggressive.
Stop, stop.
And the boxers in a clinch out there, being separated.
Don't hold.
It's very interesting, you know, in boxing. One of the boxers is always moving towards, and the other boxer is always moving away from each other, and that's how they control the rhythm.
Well, at the moment, it's the Mumbai fighters man, Mirbek Shirov from Kyrgyzstan, who's trying to get a good start in this first round. But Udit, it's been a great shopping experience for you as well. You've been looking around all over the world for talented young men to put into the ring.
Well, one of the things that we've seen is that the more our boys get exposed, the better they get. And of course, injuries are part of this entire program. Therefore, we do have a very strong foreign contingent with us. But it's a team, and we're making a nice learning environment for each other.
Certainly, it looks like Venky's Mumbai fighters are getting closer and closer to that very, very lucrative quarter-final berth, where you could end up fighting somebody like Baku.
Break, break.
Oh yeah, that's going to be a very tough fight, but we're up for it. We're here to fight.
All right, and with the first round out of the way, seconds are in the ring. And Ravi, how did you score that? I thought it certainly went the Venky's Mumbai fighters' way.
Well, I think Mirbek Shirov had the initial advantage, and he was using his jabs very well. You see him coming and pushing his man back. So it's going to be quite an experience for Mirbek Shirov, or we got to make sure that he keeps that advantage that he's had the start, Mirbek Shirov, and seems to have got things under control against Jumroesan in this opening round. So a good start in this round as well, and it must be said that Venky's Mumbai fighters have made a good start against Bangkok Elephants this time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We've come prepared. We're confident of going to the quarterfinals. That's a big gift for us, and we're going to fight for it. We are the fighters after all. We've got a strong motivation today from the IABF president, Mr. Abhay Chauthala, here as well. So that's great for the boxers. That's great for the team. We've got a good...
And he hits, and he gets a left hook, and that connects, almost sends him down. Now the rules are that except for the feet, if any part of the body touches the ring from a landed punch, you've got to have a mandatory 8 count. But he managed to stay on his feet.
I think, Mohit, it was more the sponsor's logo, which is so slick that Shirov's foot slipped on that one. And there we see a little bit of Thai boxing rather than amateur boxing.
Bit of mixed martial arts out there. And we've seen plenty of that over in Phuket and Bangkok, haven't we? A nice left jab, getting through, followed by a combination of a left and right.
Round number 2 of this 5-round contest underway, and it's Mirbek Shirov of Kyrgyzstan in the black shorts representing Venky's Mumbai fighters against Satjapron Jumroesan of Thailand representing Bangkok Elephants. The taller Shirov seems to have a bit of an advantage with his jabs, and is forcing Jumroesan to cover up time and again as he tries to connect with the jabs.
He's forcing the Thai boxer to counter, and that's basically what's happening. His jabs are getting home, and some more mixed martial arts, and there certainly isn't any love lost between these two.
Well, at the moment, we've got a referee from Denmark keeping a close eye on these two, Klaus Biedermann, and he's not having any easy time because both the boxers seems to be quite eager to get entangled rather than land punches.
That's right. Udit, very quickly. You know, there's a lot that you've been working on. What are some of the exciting things that we can expect to see over the next 1 year?
Well, one of the most interesting things that we're doing is we're going to build this entire boxing community, and we're looking to take boxing on a full year platform on television, maybe into the movies. I think boxing has a lot of potential, and we're working very closely with the federation, with the community, the entertainment community. Bollywood, who's come here in strong presence today, wants to do a lot with boxing, so there's a lot to do just in this sport.
That's wonderful to hear, and certainly all kinds of sports, they certainly need a boost, they need a shot in the arm, and it looks like you're giving it to them. Meanwhile, out in the center of the ring, Ravi, there's plenty of action, plenty of drama.
Well, Mirbek has come over here with his coach all the way from Kyrgyzstan to give him support. It's his first fight in WSB this season. And that's one of the challenges that we've had, is the language issue with some of the international boxers. And so now we're bringing their coaches in as well.
Well, and in a sense, neither of these two boxers very conventional in their technique, but it's sure that over time they'll settle down, and there's still a long way to go in this fight. Round 3 is up next, and they've got it all to fight. You can see.
Well, time to say thank you to Udit Shet, because we've got some more celebrities lined up. But Udit, it's wonderful to have you in the commentary box, and hopefully we'll see you again when the bigger fights come up, like the quarterfinals.
Thank you, and it's a pleasure.
We saw some shots of the fighters getting
Round
entangled, and
3.
Round number 3 underway, and bantamweight, unfortunately we are not able to get you round by round scores because of technical problems with Lausanne. But for the moment, it certainly looks like Mirbek Sherov has got the upper hand. Jumroesan may feel that he's getting through with his punches, but has not really been able to be too effective so far. And one of the problems that we've seen in the ring, Mohit, is that we've seen the boxers more involved in throws rather than punches.
that's right. It's been a bit of a scrappy fight, hasn't it? More of a street fight than a boxing match out here. It's, you know, we could see during the you know, in between the rounds, we could see Sherov's coach just demonstrating to him what he should be doing. Nice side-on stance, guard up and straight jabs rather than these haymaker punches, which is basically a lot of what we've seen in this fight so far. A lot of haymaker punches in this fight, Ravi.
Well, certainly both men trying to get an advantage. And just to tell our viewers that we now have actor Sonu Sood with us, who is a keen following of boxing, and this is his second visit to this arena.
Yeah, it's the second one. In fact, you know, the first one really pushed me to get back here. I thoroughly enjoyed the first one. I'm really looking forward to this one as well.
And we believe you're working on a project yourself associated with boxing.
Yeah, of course, I've been offered a script. You know, that's more of a reason to actually watch the right moves. You know, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm really looking forward to that as well.
Wonderful. You're going to be the next Rocky. You're going to capture the hearts of millions and millions of people here in India.
Well, that's going to be tough fun, but I have to really work hard towards it. But yeah, I will.
Now, are you a boxer yourself? I mean, are you technically a boxer?
No, I'm not. But you know, like I said, you know, every kid is a boxer. You know, they used to have those amateur boxing bouts, you know, in school and colleges. But like I said, you know, when I wanted to be an actor, you know, I think Rocky was one of my favorite films. You know, and I thought, you know, one day I have to do a film like this. Now I've been offered a script, and watching these guys is giving me, you know, goosebumps that I have to work so hard towards it. Yeah.
That's right. Just stay with us. We'll chat with you again in a moment. Meanwhile, let's catch up with what's going on in the middle of the ring. And it's really, Ravi, you've been keeping your eye on that. It's very scrappy,
Well,
isn't it?
Yeah, it's a warning for Sherov there. So he's lost a point in this round because he's been issued an official warning by Mr. Biderman of Denmark. And now, the Thai boxer coming out very strongly. This is getting a little too scrappy to call, but certainly it's been a very, very tight contest between the two men.
And he came out after that warning, realizing that he needed to win that point back, came out aggressively. That's the kind of fighting we'd really like to see that we saw right at the end. You know, it's not straight, it's not technically clean, but at least it's not getting in each other's legs the way they are.
Well, we'll have to wait and watch how this bout pans out, but this round is certainly not going too well for Mirbek Shirov, but he's been in a spot of bother in this round number 3 of the 5-round contest as we continue our chat with Sonu. Sonu, what really attracts you to the boxing apart from the physical aspect of it? I mean, have you ever thought of, you know, jumping into the ring wearing the gloves?
I think, like I said, you know, everyone must have thought one day that they want to become a boxer, and the whole attire, you know, with 2 boxing gloves and a super fit physique, and you know, just punching, you know, your opponent. I think that's give you a real high. I always thought, and I wanted to become a boxer one day.
Don't hold. Don't hold. Don't hold.
All right, and again the boxers getting entangled in with each other.
Don't hold.
Well, it's been a fun fight. I can tell you the audience are enjoying it, but
Not in the
I
back.
think from the scoring point
Not
of
in the
view,
back.
Venky's Mumbai
hold.
fighters seem to be in a spot of bother because Mirbek Shirov hasn't really scored well enough so far in this bout. Trying to come on strongly, but Jumroesan has countered that very well despite his lack of inches. Avoiding the rights from Shirov, and Shirov trying to get into that clinch to avoid getting punished as the clock ticks away. And
Don't hold.
but it must be said that Shirov seems to be, you know, lacking a bit in ring craft.
he certainly is. You're absolutely right. I think that's the first thing we noticed, that there's a lot left for him to learn right now. You know, he's making his debut here tonight, and I'm sure he'll go back to the drawing board. His coach was explaining to him, it was you know, quite entertaining to actually watch him as he was demonstrating, not just explaining to him the, you know, as to what he should be doing in the rounds, but demonstrating to him what he should be doing. And clearly they'll go back to the drawing board after this fight and sort it out.
Shirov trying to come on strongly with Jumroesan, and Jumroesan on the ropes, but Jumroesan puts his head down, and Mr. Biderman separating the two, but it's getting much closer than Venky's Mumbai fighters would like to get here. They would like to get those points clearly.
And also, it's, you know, it's it must be said that every time Jumroesan actually lands a punch, every time he sends his left jab out, you can see his right leg going up, akin a bit to what you see in Thai boxing. You know, clearly he's done some of that in his life. We're not seeing as many straight jabs as I'd like to see. You'd like to see the feet a bit more closely planted to the ground. That's what's going to stop you from getting knocked out if you do take a punch on your chin.
Approaching end of round number 4, and this round is again too close to call, so we'd rather not take a risk. Will depend on the professionals to do that. But coming back to you, Sonu, I mean, boxing is certainly a very physical sport, but any other sport attracts you apart from boxing?
Yeah, but cricket is one thing that I've been really doing lately. You know, I wanted to become a cricketer, and now I'm playing for the CCL matches that are happening. So I think God's been kind, you know. A dream of becoming an actor, and now a cricketer is getting fulfilled, and I think next is the boxing.
That's wonderful. That's actually wonderful to hear. And you know, let's talk about, you know, you're talking about cricket, and are you a batsman? Are you a bowler? What do you do best?
Actually, I bowl, but you know, I like to bat as well. You know, I'm an all-rounder, but I open the bowling for my team, and I tell you, you know, it's a thorough, you know, it's such a game that, you know, you always keep you on your toes. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
All right, back in the ring. This is the final round, and hard to call yet. It's been all over the place, this fight. Not very clean technically. Again, you know, a bit of a swipe there rather than a punch, and I think that's something that Shirov going to have to go back to the drawing board with. Certainly has the aggression, Ravi, and you know, if he could relate that to balance, and you know, that's basically where he's lacking. It's just if he could relate that to balance, he'd be a far better boxer than he's demonstrating right now.
Well, let's not forget, he's just 19 years of age, so he's got age on his side, and we certainly hope we'll see much more of him in the World Series boxing, because this is an arena which is presenting the amateurs to showcase their talent on a much bigger stage, because this matches are being carried live on television as well as on the internet, so that gives them a much wider audience than the amateur boxing arena does.
And the Thai boxer landing a nice hook out there from the ropes.
Stop. Last time.
It's almost like he's committing himself to a punch. The Thai boxer weaves his way out of it, and all of a sudden they find themselves all over each other.
What Shirov is trying to do is punch the daylights out of his opponent. Not really gonna happen. He's got to realize that sooner rather than later, because once you try and do that, you open your defense and allow the opponent to come in and land a few.
And it certainly is that much more difficult in the bantamweight categories as compared to the heavyweight categories. It's just that much less power coming behind the punches. Of course, Shirov trying to put his shoulder behind it. He's coming at it with momentum, with shoulder, but failing to really deliver the goods here.
We are into the final 50 seconds of round number 5.
Stop.
Let's put Sonu on the mat. Sonu, how do you see this bout going? I know you support the Venky's Mumbai fighters, but this has not been the cleanest of bouts.
Yeah, I know. I think, like you said, you know, this guy is very young, 19 years, so lots of excitement that you know, pushes him to, you know, just jump on the other fighter. But I think, like you said, you know, the balance is the most important thing in boxing, and you just have to keep your feet intact on ground. I think that's one thing which is lacking with this guy. But like I said, you know, still miles to go. It's just the beginning of his career, so I'm sure he'll learn the tricks of the trade.
I'm sure he will. He's got his coach with him here, who's come all the way from Kyrgyzstan.
Don't hold.
Bit of a tongue twister there for me.
And it's Kyrgyzstan, man. Mirbek, Sherov, and we've got to wait and see how this one scores with the judges, because for us it's been too close to call.
It certainly has. You know, there were arms flailing, a lot of you know, as we mentioned, Ravi, as you correctly said, a lot of haymaking fighting, but you know, very little connecting that can really be counted. It's going to be an interesting one and a tough one for the judges, I think, because they've really got to figure out what counted and what didn't. And just take a look at some of those. You can see he's really putting his shoulder behind that, and
well, not just his shoulder, but his head and everything behind it. And if he had missed that one, probably he would have gone himself flying over the ropes. That's how hard he was swinging.
As he nearly did earlier. Okay, we have a result now.
Well, we await the announcement, formal announcement, and this looks like a tough one, because we've got the supervisor doing quick calculations, because we are facing technical difficulties in our connections with Lausanne. So we will wait the formal announcement of the results.
Once again, a unanimous decision from the judges, 3-0 in favor of the blue corner, Satjapron Jumroesan.
And not surprising there, Ravi. We thought he had done enough. Actually, we thought that the Mumbai fighter had done too much to really harm his chances.
Well, certainly it's Satjapron, Jumroesan scoring one for Bangkok Elephants, and when we come back, it's going to be the lightweight bout. Don't go away.